Alright, it's time to set valve timing, or mechanical timing of the engine. I made some marks on the magneto when I was first installing the PMA PAMCO setup. So I'm basically just setting it to the timing mark that I put on here. But also I can verify that I'm at top dead center with a screwdriver and just see that, you know, that's starting to go down. So that's not top dead center, but right there is the max. So that's top dead center, and that lines up with the mark I made here. And I know that is compression stroke top dead center because it's lining up with the timing mark I already put on my magneto. I wouldn't have any reason to put non-compression stroke top dead center on this thing. I think on the stock ones they do have marks for that, but on this one, nah, it doesn't matter. I just have it set to where I need it. So now I know that this is top dead center on the compression strizoke. So now let's put on the camshaft, and the only thing you need to know as far as which side goes where is that where this little dowel is right here, that goes on the right side of the engine. And always remember right left. When someone refers to an engine as the right side or the left side, what they mean is whether, like, if you're sitting on the motorcycle, what's your left side, what's your right side, okay? That's how you know. There's a timing mark for the camshaft for the mechanical timing. Let me see if I can get there for you. Is right there. If you can see it, there's a little notch right there on top of the camshaft. That's where you set your timing. That's where you set your mechanical timing for your cami shaft. Let's see if I can just... Oops, I moved it a little bit. Now you see this is going to move around a little bit. So we just got to keep... Oops. Got to keep marking this. Or basically just, you know, make sure that this doesn't move hardly at all if it is going to. So first let's get it right again. Mark top dead center. Yep, right there. Good. Top dead center on the camshaft. That's good. And then we are just going to assemble the spring on top. Now obviously there's going to be slack here, that's not a big deal. It's going to move it a little bit, whatever, don't matter, just as long as you guys are marked as TDC. Now, I am going to take these, I'm going to take the baling wire off finally, and then I'm going to re-rivet this guy in here, and I'm going to do that. I'll set up a different camera for it, but yeah. I'll tell you, make sure your mechanical timing is correct. And moving on. Alright. Chain is on where it needs to be. I'm just kind of holding it in place and making sure that my timing mark on the camshaft is still in the right position. Because now we are going to take off the baling wire. And this could fall off back into the engine. So we want to make sure that when we take off the baling wire, this guy isn't going to go anywhere. So that's that portion. And also we're going to keep double checking to make sure that we're in the right position, you know, because even a tooth off can make a pretty noticeable difference in timing, so that's good. I know that that is where I need it, and we're just gonna keep this guy on. Whoa, oh shit, almost lost it. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm just gonna thread this guy on here for now, because I forgot to, don't you dare lose it. Okay, because I forgot I need to get the, or do I? Oh no, I don't. Sorry, I'm dumb. I thought I was missing part of the master clip, but I'm not at all. I have everything I need to do this job. The more, it just stinks that I can't friggin'. You know what? I'm gonna retry this, because as it sits right now, it's gonna be very hard for me to put the pin back on with the cam chain in position how it is. So this is going to go back on, and I'm going to try to basically move the engine around enough that I can make it at top dead center and still have enough chain length here to move around, because I got all this chain length here on this side, but I have very, very little over here, and I want to just move it. I guess that's all I can do. I'm gonna play with this. Alright, I just had to readjust the chains a little bit because I had way too much chain on one end and not enough on the other, so how it was looking was like, you know, I would have had to put the rivet tool like way over here, and that just wasn't gonna cut it. So now I can rivet right on the top and everything's hunky-dory. So, alright. That is, I think I actually just lucked out. Yeah, that is straight up on the camshaft. I'm at top dead center on the engine. Just double checking to make sure. Yeah, that's good. Wow, I lucked out. Sweet. Okay, now let's remove some baling wire. And hope and pray that it doesn't go back into the end. You're about to go back in. Well, actually, you still have baling wire, so whatever, it's fine. You can go wherever you want. You ain't going nowhere. Let's put you over here for now. This is very stressful because you can lose a chain in the engine at this point, and it can reset everything, so that's not fun. There. Actually, I'm gonna reuse this. Just kind of set it around here a little bit so it doesn't move as much. Okay, so now let's do the other side. Here we go. And that side's gone. Cool. So let's recheck our timing. And it looks like it's still okay. Even a tooth off can make a big difference. So you just want to make sure that this part is right. Let's put it back on there. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just triple checking this here. Just want to make sure it's right. Try and get down at ground level. See it from this perspective. It looks like as of right now it's dead on. Or maybe a tooth off. I don't know. Let me see here. Maybe a tooth off. Let me just move this slightly. Okay, it's one tooth of movement. Okay, I think I'm still one tooth off. Oh, this is so hard to tell. Alright, time to sit on the ground. I think I'm still tooth off on the other side. Okay. Not quite. All right. Let's say that's good. As close as I can get it. I can make sure I'm still at TDC. Yep. It's TDC. Okay, yeah, I'm good. Cool. So now I can just re-rivet this bitch. And then we're good. Now that I know that it's actually centered, I can just move this back over here to a better position to rivet it. Because I already know that it's aligned, so. Alright, cam chain's re-riveted. We're good. Let's just give it a spin. Yep. No hesitation. Everything's spinning good. And let's just check. Here comes the timing mark. Let's check the top dead center. It's where it's supposed to be. Yep. Awesome. Done. Just for clarity's sake, I want to mention that the method I used here is, like, if you're putting on a PMA system, right, you need to find the marks of like where top dead center is or whatever, because, you know, you have a new rotor, you know, you have a new magneto, the PMA, and you know, you have no marks to go off of. Then there's another, you know, way to do it where you're using a degree wheel, piston stop, all this other stuff to figure out like where top dead center is, because you have no marks to go off of. That's not what I did this time. I had the marks already from the PMA installation I did years ago to go off of. So really all I was doing was making sure that those marks that were on T on the rotor down here were, you know, the same as having the little notch right here on the cam in the same position, you know. And I used the screwdriver in there to show me like where top dead center was, to confirm it basically two ways, to see that the, you know, when the piston's at the top of its travel, that's top dead center, and also like checking to make sure that the mark I made on the rotor were both in the same like ballpark, and basically, or not ballpark, but dead on. So it's basically like if I didn't stick my screwdriver down there, I could still just look at this, look at the marks on the rotor and trust those. But I basically just put the screwdriver in there as well, just so I could have two things to reference. I could say like, okay, piston's at top dead center because the screwdriver's as far up as it's going to go, and also my marks are correct on the rotor. So it was basically just checking twice. Just want to note that, you know, just in case someone's doing a PMA install and they don't have top dead center to go off of, like marked on their rotor already. I just wanted to note that, because there's a whole different sort of way of doing that using a degree wheel and all this other stuff, and I just want to make sure that you guys know that before going forward. And also to let all the naysayers know that, guess what, I know that too. I was just going off of information I already had.